All right, folks, this is Acid Roots. I've got something to gripe with you guys about, and it's not like I'm trying to go out of my way to gripe about things in music, but I kind of feel like this is a larger topic, and I want to kind of start to scratch the surface of it to kind of get it more headway. So basically, the concept of dropping a hit single and dropping multiple singles, or just putting out an album and putting out an album with the hits on there. So what I mean by this is when they'll drop a bunch of songs and either the album will never come out or it will come out and it won't have those songs that were out because they didn't chart high enough. Now I get that this is a part of music, is dropping like promotional songs and that sort of stuff, or just like there's a word for it, like yeah, just dropping like promotional singles that are not intended on being on the project. But when you look at this sort of thing, the main thing about it is like, for example, just like buzz singles. That's kind of more the topic. That's the better way. A promotional single is usually on the project, but a buzz single is just something that kind of gets the artist name out there, so you kind of know that they're on the verge of dropping something. Now, I don't have much against buzz singles, but I kind of feel like when the buzz singles are doing better than the singles they release for the project, that's kind of a problem. And that whole atmosphere, like, we could take like g-eazy for example. Now I'm gonna list some female rappers that do this, but I'm gonna talk about g-eazy because he had a song that came out this year that was called Provide or something like that, which basically sampled Return of the Mac. It was a huge song back in the 90s. g-eazy did a pretty stellar job of reintegrating that, and he put Chris Brown on there also, but that song was nowhere to be found on like his new album that just came out a few months ago. It's like Still These Things Happen Too or something like that. And I was disappointed. I was like, damn, g-eazy's had basically his biggest song since like Him and I with Halsey on there, and he chose not to put that on the project as a result. And I don't like that tactic. And it seems like a lot of musicians do it. And like another example of this is like Saweetie. Maybe you've heard of her. She had the McDonald's meal that she recently put out. But the thing about it is, she's kind of BSing her way through putting out a project also. And it's not to say, I know she's just trying to figure out what to do, but the concept behind it, when you look at a song like Best Friend, which came out at the beginning of this year, I'm wondering if that song Best Friend is going to find its home on the project, which is a disappointment because that charted at like 14 on the Billboard 100. Means it was the 14th most popular song in the country for a little while, like a couple weeks or a month or something. But the fact that the 14th most popular song in America doesn't have a home on a CD that you can purchase is excessively disappointing. I'm getting kind of tired of this trend because yeah, I know the song only costs $1.29, but that's not how I want to purchase music. And it seems like moves like this, where a song will hit like number 3 or number 8 on the Billboard 100, number 15 or number 25, but the musicians don't feel like that's good enough to put on their project, is kind of disappointing. I think, like a song like Best Friend by Saweetie probably could have been the lead single. Her album should have completely come out at this point, and we probably should be digesting this album this whole winter. But instead, the way that the process works, we're still awaiting like her true first project or however that goes. But that's just kind of the concept. There's a lot of things that kind of have these things where you get these hit songs, but that's a big reason as to why I don't really review songs and that sort of stuff, is because I feel like I just would be wasting my time. Because if I liked a song and I was like, yeah, this song is awesome, and then it doesn't find its home on the album 3 months later or 8 months later or 18 months later, I feel like I wasted my time. And I've tried this. I tried doing this back in 2017, a little bit of 2018, but it just winds up being a colossal waste of time, just because it's just like, yeah, it was a good song, but it's really, the thing about it, what this concept is it's willy-nilly, or it's kind of, you stick your toes in the water, you change your mind, and despite it doesn't even matter if the song does well. People just have like a certain kind of buyer's remorse about it and change their mind quickly, and then the song is scrapped and it just is out there, doesn't have a home on any project. I really don't like those kinds of songs that are just out there that you have to find on your own. It's aggravating. And that's kind of the concept behind it. I feel like, and it's disappointing in some respects, just because musicians that have like these hit singles, like Cardi B is an example of this. She's pretty popular. I don't hate her music, but I do pretty much dislike her marketing tactics as far as her albums are concerned, because she has one album, but she's hit number one like 4 or 5 times and chooses not to put anything out. She's been, you know, bragging about having an album out, but it's in limbo, and it's been in limbo. All these things that are going on. Where's the album? I mean, she's kind of seen as like a queen of rap, but how can she be a queen if she doesn't have like any trophies and that kind of stuff? She has one album to her name, so it's not like she can be in the same category as like Nicki Minaj or someone like that, or Lil Kim. But that's just kind of the concept. This food for thought for y'all, just to kind of wonder about that. So